As you might guess, a lot of people have some opinions. Let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hey, Dave, Frank from Cleveland. I just want to touch base on one thing. I think Ken Dorsey's a great hire, but by any chance, I know he was fired after the first 10 games. Can you, by any chance, bring up the Bills' offense the first 10 games versus the last 6, 7 games when be good, be safe, you and the family, as always. Have a good one. Bye.
All right, here's what you asked for, Frank. Under Ken Dorsey, 10 games, points per drive, 2.45 yards per play, 6. Success rate, 48.10. Pass success rate, better than 52. Rush success rate, 46. EPA per drive, 0.50. EPA per dropback, 0.14. Turnover rate, 17.3. Under Joe Brady, that's the guy that replaced him, 7 games. Points per drive are down, 2.27. Yards per play down, 5.4 as opposed to 6. Pass success rate down, 45.6. Rush success rate down. EPA per drive down significantly from 0.52 to 0.29. EPA per dropback down. The only thing that went up was the turnover rate, which went from 17.3 under Ken Dorsey to 11.70 under Joe Brady. So, Fred, the reason was they ran the ball a lot more. They were trying to, Josh Allen wasn't trying to make every play, but the offense, there's this misnomer that the Bills' offense took off once, Ken Dorsey left. That isn't exactly what happened. They scored more, they ran the ball more, but Josh Allen stopped turning the ball over.
Yeah, I would say significantly, if the Browns didn't lead the NFL in giveaways, they probably would have had better stats as well. That is such a big, when you look under the hood. And that's what I said. I didn't study the Bills, until a little later. You just look at the surface, wow, they were losing and now they're winning, and you kind of get the credit. I do think that it's been my experience in covering the NFL and teams is that a lot of times quarterbacks that weren't necessarily great players were probably better coaches. You could do that, look at that in baseball, basketball, a lot of sports. And Dorsey in the NFL didn't have a lot of success. But they had to work at it. They're more technicians. Doug Peterson comes to mind. Frank Wright comes to mind, across the board. And so I think in what the Browns are trying to do, I think Alex Van Pelt did what they wanted, but I think they're looking for fresh ideas, fresh face, fresh voice coming in, because in this particular case, I could be wrong, but this isn't like turning over the defense to Jim Schwartz and Jim Schwartz brings in his whole defense. This is Kevin Stefanski's offense, and he's probably going to keep calling the plays. And it's more like plug him in to what we're trying to do and just help us create an offense that's more conducive to Deshaun Watson and see things, maybe something we're not seeing, instead of Alex Van Pelt's now been here for 4 years, and you probably got all the ideas that you were going to get from Alex Van Pelt, and they had a year with Watson, and they decided, let's get some outside thoughts and ideas. So, I mean, it's one of them, you stew on. I can see why they made this move, and I think that in what they were looking, again, I could be wrong. Maybe Stefanski will give up the play calling, but I do think that they were trying to get a guy to come in and maybe fill a spot or a role, maybe be quarterback coach, and similar to Van Pelt, as opposed to come in and bring your whole system and we're going to change things all around.